What is up, people? Miles here with Keep the Change, and today we are analyzing Upwork stock. We're gonna see if Upwork stock is a buy at these prices because as of today, it went up 40%. You heard me right, 40% in a matter of a day, and this was after their earnings call, so obviously their earnings must have been really good. With all that being said, you guys, make sure to like the video. It really helps the channel out, and subscribe as well because we're about to hit 100, and once we do that, it's a Q&A, baby. You know what's going on. And if you don't like and subscribe, then you're gonna have to sneeze, but you won't be able to, okay? Everybody hates that feeling, so you better do it. So Upwork is $28 a share today, and it's at a market cap of $3.5 billion. And what Upwork actually does is they own an app called Upwork, and this app is a freelancer app. So basically, let's say that I am looking for somebody to do something for me. So I want someone to edit a video for me, or make a thumbnail for me, or just design a website for me, or an app, or anything you can think of, really. I go onto the app, I put the job up, I put an hourly rate or a one-time fixed payment if it's a one-time project, and then I get people with those skill sets to come and apply to the job. I interview them, I see who I like, and then I hire somebody. And on the freelancing side, let's say I have a skill. Let's say I'm really good with Photoshop. Then basically I can just apply to a bunch of Photoshop jobs and hopefully I get one and I can do some work for people on the side. Now, freelancing is not a new concept. It's been around since the dawn of time. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but don't fact check me. But the point is, this makes freelancing so incredibly easy and also reliable. Technically, anyone can sign up for this and say, you know, oh, I have these skills, but at the end of the day, you get reviews, you can see how much they're paid, and also if you do any shady stuff, Upwork is gonna kick you out. And I mean, seriously, I applied for this guy on Upwork, and he was basically looking for a YouTube video editor, and apparently he was trying to cut Upwork out of the deal. So basically, he was trying to pay people outside of the app, and they did not like that. They shut him down. Which brings us onto how Upwork actually makes money. So let's say that I take a job. Let's say I'm editing a video, and I get paid $500. Really, I would get paid $400 because Upwork takes a 20% fee for that. So basically, the client of the situation pays $500, Upwork takes 20%, they take their 100, their cut, and then me, the freelancer, I get 400. Everybody's happy. The client gets their product, I get paid, and then Upwork gets paid as well. And this is a really great system because if I'm a video editor, I don't have the connections yet, but I can just go on this app and I can find people all over the world and make connections everywhere. And something that Upwork mentioned in their earnings call is the fact that usually these relationships are longer lasting. So let's say I do a job for somebody, a couple months go by, they hit me up again, they liked my work, and they need some more work. So this benefits every party involved. I mean, Upwork gets more money from that, I get more money from that, and then the person, the client, gets more value. They get what they want, the product. And technically, since the freelancer is an independent contractor, not an employee, you can actually pay them less than minimum wage. Because at the end of the day, it's like the ultimate capitalism app, which personally I am a big fan of. Capitalism for the win. What I mean by that is if I offer $5 to someone to write a book and they accept it, well, the deal is made. There can't be anything done, right? They have to write the book at that point. And if they don't write the book, then I just don't pay them, I keep the money, and nothing happened. And remember how I said everyone across the world is using this app? Well, globally, Upwork had over 139,000 clients looking for freelancers in Q3 of 2020. And you've got to think about it. With this whole pandemic going on, things are going all online now. The shift to online work is getting bigger and bigger. But it's not only individuals going on this app, companies are actually going on this app as well, and they're outsourcing their work to just freelancers all over the world. And if I'm a client and I'm trying to hire a freelancer, I can actually pay for different service packages as well. I can pay $49.99 a month to get new benefits, or I can pay $800 a month to get crazy benefits on the app. But really, the $800 a month is more for companies and enterprises that use their app, and they're actually trying to target these enterprises a lot more. Now, we've talked a lot about the fundamentals of this app. Let's get more into the financial situation of what's going on with this company. Taking a look at the third quarter of 2020, they had revenues of $96.7 million, and they grew those revenues 24% year over year. So that's some pretty nice growth there. Double-digit growth, you want to see that. But this company's not profitable, which I'm not a huge fan of. However, the profits are getting better. So this quarter, they lost $2.7 million, and then last year, this quarter, they lost $3.5 million. So the losses are getting smaller, they're getting more profitable. And if we look at their revenue statement, you can see that most of their expenses actually come from sales and marketing. So basically what that means is that if they cut their sales and marketing to zero, then they could be profitable today. Now, obviously, this company is in its growth stages, so they want to grow the brand, they want to advertise as much as possible. However, if they just took out those sales costs, which basically they could still run the business without having to advertise, advertised, then they could actually be profitable, which is a really good sign. So even though they aren't profitable right at this moment, it is seeming very realistic that they'll be profitable within the next year or two. Now let's take a look at what you could argue is probably the most important thing to look at when it comes to a company, which is its balance sheet. Balance sheet just tells you whether or not the company's going bankrupt or whether or not we're going to the moon with Elon. So they've got around $150 million in cash total, with over $331 million in current assets, and they only have $220,000 in total liabilities. So their current assets could pay their total liabilities and they would still have $100 million left over. So this is an extremely financially healthy company. I also want to point out the fact that most of their liabilities actually come from funds being due in escrow. And what escrow basically means is that's kind of a limbo state. So if a freelancer accepts a job from a client, the client pays beforehand to Upwork, and Upwork just holds the money in their bank account. Once the client gets the product, then Upwork will actually pay it out to the freelancer. It's a little confusing, but all you need to understand is the fact that these aren't actually liabilities for them. At worst, they're going to take money that people have already given them and give it out. It's not actually really a liability for them. Now that was a little confusing. I'm sure I could have explained better, but basically as an investor, all you need to understand from that is that this balance sheet is actually spectacular. Now let's take a closer look at the valuation on this company, because that's a really good way to gain perspective on whether or not this is actually a buying opportunity despite the fact it's gone up 40% in a day, or if we should wait this one out. They don't have a PE ratio because they're not profitable yet, so the next best thing to look at is the price to sales ratio, which is at a 6. And if we look at their main competitor, Fiverr, that's at 28. So that's almost 5 times higher than Upwork. Fiverr and Upwork are in the same space, but Fiverr is getting a huge premium on it, while Upwork seems to be almost undervalued in comparison. And with work moving online more and more every day, more people doing projects because of quarantine. I mean, more people have started YouTube channels now than ever, really. So people are looking for editors, people are looking for people to make stuff. A ton of stuff is happening in the world creatively. And the fact that freelancing is a $1 trillion market that they're going after, and they've got the #1 app in that space. I think that buying Upwork for $3.5 billion at the moment is actually a steal, especially if you're looking at this in a perspective over 5 years. However, I'm not going to say that this stock won't go down in the next couple months because it's run up a lot, but this hype could keep going. But in general, if you're buying this for the longer term, I think this is a great play. Because the #1 thing I preach on this channel is buy and hold, okay? Buy and hold the stock until you get rich, and I'm sure with this one, you're going to make hundreds of percents on your money within 5 years. I would not doubt that. This is a huge industry. They're growing in it. They're a leader. They've got a huge brand name. And then on top of that, I just trust them. I like them personally. I'm biased. All right, maybe we'll look at Fiverr if you guys want that. Now, I do want to clarify, I wouldn't go all in on this position right away. They did just go up 40% in a day. There might be some selling off, but who knows? I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure to do your own due diligence and do your own research. So I know I usually go more into the financial side of stuff, and this time I went more into the business side, but hopefully you still enjoy. I got some really interesting videos for you guys planned next week, so hopefully you enjoy them, and hopefully we hit 100 subscribers by then so I can kind of make a Q&A type thing. That would be awesome. But with all that being said, you guys, thanks so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I love you.